Hey guys, I've got a completed project video for you today. So today we're going to be showing off the jungle board for the Bearded Dragon game store. And they are based out of New Jersey. So I'm just doing a little bit of a slow pan walk around of the table. This is on a 6-foot by 4-foot table. And this battle mat is also one of the fat mats by Frontline Gaming. If you don't own one of these, you should, because they are awesome. You know, just take a look at the quality of that mat. It's really cool, really awesome, really well printed textures, and you know, it just is really portable too. They come with these little cases right here. That's actually my Urban Warfare battle mat in that case right there. So now that I'm done plugging Frontline, because they're awesome, let's go ahead and go through this set piece at a time. So first up, you have these hills that are scattered throughout the set. I would like to note that all of the jungle terrain has these custom built trees. Now these trees are made from actual tree wood. In particularly, I used pine tree sticks or firs, whichever ones you have locally you can use them for. I used those to get this nice cool texture. Then the tops are various aquarium vegetation that I've been collecting over a long period of time. You can watch for sales at like pet shops and get that kind of stuff. It's really neat looking. The set was then painted to match the Realm of Battle jungle board, so it's got that similar texture. It's not as wet looking as the other one, but you do see some areas. Let's see, there should be like some areas, especially like in the rocks, and areas that look moist. That was achieved with a gloss effect, gloss medium. I'm just going to go over here. And there's a lot of detail in these hills and rocks. You can see all sorts of little pieces popping up in areas, variances in the flock. I also did sort of a green undertone to a lot of stuff to represent a bit of a mossy sort of textured look to them. You know, as if the rock itself is starting to get a little bit of algae and such growing in it. And these trees are really my favorite part of the set. The trees were, this was the first time I'd really tried to make super awesome looking trees like this. I was kind of going for an alien palm of sorts. And this is also the effigy of Gork, or possibly Mork. Orc effigy. It's pretty gnarly looking. It's pretty big too. I mean, here's my hand next to it. Like, my hand is right next to it, and you can see it's a little bit bigger than my hand. So that's a pretty big terrain piece. Nice line of sight blocker. Could be used for, you know, blocking anything from you know, Wraith Knights to, you know, the Tau super heavies that have been coming out lately. You also have these nifty looking swampish pools. Mix some flock in there as well to represent the, you know, floating on the top of the pool. These are pretty simple, just, you know, pool tiles. Over here you've got some ruined buildings, and this is where you see a lot of these wet effects coming into play. Anything that looked like it would corrode, like metal, we made sure to rust the heck out of it because it's a very humid environment. And you can just see the areas where the different pools of water from a recent rain have hit. And I'll just flip this around so you can get a better look at the front as well. You can also see those green undertones mixed in with the concrete. These, there's two of these ruined building pieces. This style is a little bit different from the other one. I've also got Eric and Stefan coming by later tonight, and they're going to be doing a battle report on this, which I'll be processing and editing together for you guys for later this week. Whole lot of cool foliage going on here. Tried to leave some areas where the foliage was not present, so that way, you know, you have areas to put your models. But, you know, it's good to have, you know, some greenery now and then in a spot. Then moving on, we also have these. These are a variation on my tree kits that I've been producing. So they're basically the same template with, a slightly different paint job and flocking. And then the difference is that I've made these sort of, palm tree sort of clumps. Let me see if I can grab a couple more of these and spread them out to give you an idea of how they look. So they come in the, these still have the small, the large, and the single curve. So there's the single curved one. And there's the small and the large. And they still fit on these forest flats, so that way you can use these for, any mass battle game like Kings of War, or you could use them for 40K. You could also, they'd be really good for 40K, especially if you're trying to play like on a Catachin world. And then some of them I also even added like little fronds to the bottom. I didn't do it on all of them because I didn't want it to be, too overpowered with the fronds. But some of them do have those little areas. You can see there's more of them over there. Then moving on, I believe this one's another one of the buildings. So there's a big difference between these two buildings as well. I want to point this out. This one I decided to make sort of like a skyscraper, maybe like these were buttresses going up all the way and then maybe something smashed off here at some point. This one I decided more of a squat appearance. So you have this cross brace across here. The reason I did that is it makes it look more interesting and, makes the buildings less boring looking compared to each other. Over here is a pretty big centerpiece. This is a jungle temple. I'm going to do a close-up on this etching on the side. Each one of these symbols is unique to the temple set, or the temple piece. I'm just going to do a slow pan around the whole thing. The inspiration for this was kind of lizard men, because this is a general game store terrain set, so it can be used both with fantasy or sci-fi. Fantasy games tend to be a little bit more, less on the terrain than sci-fi, so a lot of the jungly pieces and hills, you'd use like the effigy to Gork and Mork, and then a lot of the natural terrain. One thing I did add here is a little spider effigy hanging out right there. Use some bits, and you also see there's like these little lizard man symbols on the sides and in different spots, like there. You also have that gloss effect hanging out in a lot of places. And you have the two braziers burning hot coals. Pretty cool looking terrain piece. Over here you now have some of the sci-fi pieces. So the idea was that there were some snake bites that were dug in on the board at some point. And as you can see, that's a pretty kit-bashed model. Lots of pieces added to it. Lots of rust effects and areas picked out. This set is also the first set that I've used pigment powders on. You got space under here to hide some of your dudes. And of course some more jungly stuff. Then over here you have an orc mech shop. This also has one of the higher points on the sets on it. So you can put some snipers or some artillery up here, something like that. As you can see, there's a lot of cool bits attached to this one. You got this little sort of like mech claw where, vehicle pulls up to the side and the mech will like grab it and pull it, inside or something like that, or at least pull things off. Maybe he forgot to put a window in, so he pulls it off and realizes he has to, grab it and pull it in manually afterwards. Orcs don't think these things ahead anyway, so this area is a little overgrown. where the jungle started to retake the building a bit. And you've got this little sort of like garage area up front where the trucks can come in and, you know, repairs can get done, or they can just build new trucks from the leftovers of old trucks. I will say that building this thing, this really made me want to build an entire orc set. I'm going to do that at some point here in the future. And you can see a lot of weathering. We incorporated a lot of yellows and greens into this because, you know, it's snake bites. So you want to incorporate like lots of yellows and greens. And it's about the size of a bastion. From what I'm told, it could sub in as an orc bastion if someone decided to do so. And you also have like the little lights that are still on in areas. And the orcs have hooked up some electricity in there as well. So yeah, and then you've got all these, you know, the hills are pretty cool. I like the hills. So I tried to go for more of a flat, easier to put guys on hills. And the reason I went for this is because you're going to have a lot of this greenery from the palm trees everywhere. And I just felt like it would be a more interesting layout for the hills. A little bit more classic like 40K Catachin style hills. Overall, I had a lot of fun getting this set completed. It really shone once we attached once I attached all the fronds and the greenery to the trees. That's when this set really came together. So yeah, that is our completed jungle board. I'd say this is the better jungle board out of the ones I've done. And I'm really enjoying how it turned out. If you'd like to get a set like this commissioned, just send us an email to projects@titanterrainstudio.com. We are currently accepting new projects. And, you know, it's just a really awesome set. I'd love to do something like this, except maybe like orc themed. So if you're interested in doing something specifically this like a pure orc jungle board, I would be really interested in doing that. That would be a whole lot of fun. So anyway, remember to like, share, and subscribe. So like us on Facebook, share this video anywhere you'd like. And, you know, subscribe to us on YouTube. Also follow us on our other social medias. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we are on lots of them. So, you know, check us out. We got all the links on our website and on our Facebook. Thanks and take care, and thank you for watching.